Yeah, I've just come on to air a few of my thoughts on this virus that's going around, wiping out the planet, killing everybody off. Some observations in the last lockdown that we've just about came out of. Like 90% of the shops were closed in my local area. I don't know what other people's areas are like, but in my area, nothing made any sense. The only shops that were allowed open was the major food stores like Morrison's and Lidl and stuff like that. And on the night time, the pizza shops, there's about 10 different pizzas and kebab shops open. They're all good to go. That's junk food. It's no good to anyone. It's like, meanwhile, you've got like fruit shops that are shut. They're not necessary anymore. It's like, I'd have thought in the middle of a pandemic, like vitamins would be the first thing people would want. I thought it'd be like food, like fruit bags of fruit delivered to your door with people with masks on. It's like, no, fruit shops are shut, but pizza shops and kebab shops good to go. And I'm talking, when you visit these pizza shops, there's like 6 or 7 people behind the counter. None of them are wearing masks. None of the people in the waiting rooms are wearing masks. This is like mid-lockdown. The whole thing doesn't make any sense. I've never believed in it. I've never believed in it from the start. I don't know, in my circle of friends personally, I don't know anybody who knows anybody who suffered with coronavirus. Nobody knows anybody. The most I get is somebody knows a rumour of somebody who got diagnosed. Diagnosis doesn't mean anything at all. At all. It doesn't mean a goddamn thing. You know. When my mum passed away a couple of years ago, my doctor, the family doctor came out to confirm that she'd died. And to my surprise, he said to me, he said, right, he said, you're the next of kin. What would you like me to put on the death certificate? This is before coronavirus. I said, what? Like, my head was in bits, man. My mum just passed away. And he's asking me a question like that before coronavirus. He said, what would you like me to put on the death certificate? You're the next of kin. I said, you've lost me, doctor. I said, you've been the family doctor for like 35 years now. I said, you know, you'll figure it out. I don't know. I said, you've lost me. He said, I'll simplify it for you. He said, if you don't put anything on this death certificate, he said, it's going to cost a lot of people a lot of money to do autopsies and figure out what the actual cause of death was. He said, what were her main ailments? I said, well, she had asthma, she had OCPD, she had osteoporosis. He said, well, just pick one. Just pick one. He said, we need one for the death certificate. Pick one. I said, well, okay. I said, put OCPD. He said, right, well, then that's it. The job's done now. That's it. Case closed. This is before coronavirus. So you can probably guess where my head's at when people say, oh, I know, I was so-and-so got diagnosed. No, coronavirus is real. I was so-and-so got diagnosed with it. That's how weak your diagnosis is. It's just someone writing on a piece of paper. It's like, during the first lockdown, I was outward bound. I'm just, if someone tells me, like, it comes from my childhood, if someone tells me I have to stay in, I'm going out. I'm not getting grounded, whether it's my parents or the government, I'm not getting grounded. And I was out, and I was mingling with people through the first lockdown, because I just simply didn't believe at all. And I was mingling with people who didn't have masks on. I've never seen anybody coughing, which was one of the main symptoms. I've never seen anybody with any flu-like symptoms. It's like the flu's just completely disappeared. I've never seen anyone with a fever. You know, it's like, am I alone on this? Is the whole thing just a complete joke? You know, I'd appreciate some sort of comments and see did this happen in other areas where, like, essential shops that I'd class as essential, like fruit shops, like, closed for business because they're non-essential, and an absolute flurry of pizza and kebab shops. I mean, when I moved in this area, there was about 3 kebab shops and a pizza shop, and now there's about 12 because the only businesses allowed. There's people actually changing the businesses and going, well, we'll go pizza and kebab shops because we're good to open. Why is junk food what we want in the middle of a pandemic? Why is junk food essential? Another thing that doesn't make sense, and again I'm appealing to people, is this going on in your area? Because it's just criminal. The bus drivers, every time I get on a bus now, they take your money up. Yeah, if the bus fare's £3.60, you give them a fiver. They'll say, "Oh, sorry, we can't give you your £1.40 change because COVID." The buses, since this pandemic started, the buses have decided right from the get-go in the Middlesbrough sort of area that they can't give anyone any change because of COVID. They can take your money off you. There's nothing wrong with that. But they can't give you any change because of COVID, and they're still doing it. That's damn right criminal. Do you know how many millions they're making on that? Do you know how many people get caught short? I fell for it once or twice. But do you know how many millions of people are desperate to get the bus somewhere and they haven't got the change? It's like, sorry, I can't give you your change back because of COVID. Like, wearing gloves and that with a bag, go and drop your money in there. I can't give you any change because of COVID. So you've got gloves on because you can give me change. Go in the bag and give me change. Is that just happening in the sort of East Cleveland area? Or has all the buses in the country done that? That's damn right criminal. It's like it's a fiver to go anywhere if you haven't got change. That's insane. Yeah, I've never seen anyone with any symptoms. It's like I've walked through like busy shopping centres and that, like mid-COVID and that, and I've never seen anyone with any symptoms, anyone coughing. I mean, if it is it a hoax? Isn't it a hoax? Is there something there, but they've seriously ramped up the fear for whatever reasons? Does it exist at all? 'Cause I'm not seeing it, and nobody I know is seeing it. I meet new people. I met a bloke at a bus stop and he stood there with a mask on, and so am I. You know, like mid-COVID, mid-lockdown, a bloke at a bus stop, both got masks on. And within 2 minutes of talking to him, he said, "I believe it's nonsense." And I said, "Oh, thank God for that. Can I take my mask off?" He said, "Yeah, I'll take mine off." And I had a proper handshake with him and a genuine conversation, you know. Believe me, the people I've mingled with through this whole thing, I've had no symptoms whatsoever. If COVID was what they say it was, I must be the luckiest person on earth, because I must have caught it now about 100 times over, you know. And it's not just that, it's, you've got to think about, does your government, do you really believe your government wants to save your life, actually cares? Do you believe, like the likes of Boris Johnson and his crew, actually care about the lives and the population of this, you know, the class it as overpopulated as anything. What you got to think about, right, is all the people who are unemployed, refusing to work. They have to look for 6 jobs a week, or they don't get the benefits, the job seekers allowance. They're just writing loads of nonsense down. They just don't want to work. It's as simple as that. And you know, East Cleveland's flooded with people that just won't work. Doesn't matter what they do, what tricks, what hurdles they give them to jump over, they just won't work. So they're costing the government a fortune. You've got to think on top of that, there's all sorts of sick, like bogus sick claims, people on top rate ESA and top rate PIP, you know, and they claim, "Oh, I'm depressed, I'm too depressed, I hear voices in my head," and they're just running rings around them, and they're not just getting job seekers allowance. These bogus sick claims are through the roof, right? And the government knows that. They're surrounded by people that are just costing the government an absolute fortune. And yet you really believe that if there was this pandemic thing, if it really exists, they'd want to save everyone's life. It'd only be the select few. It'd only be like key workers, people who work in Morrison's, people who are worthy to society. They're the ones who'll be getting the vaccine. It wouldn't be everybody. Why do people believe the government have got the backs? It's like the flu's been there forever. No one's ever been able to find a cure for the flu. Well, actually, I've looked into it, and there has been potential cures for the flu, but it's been hushed up because, you know, it put so many people out of business. But that's another story. But we've had the flu since day one. you know. We've never been able to find a cure. And all of a sudden we've got this amazing new thing that's 10 times worse than the, you know, it's like, here you go, we've got a vaccine sorted out. Straight away, we've got a vaccine sorted out. It's like, I'm not buying it, man. This government is wicked and it's just taking away people's freedoms. You know, it's just, that's it. It's just a short video to sort of air my thoughts and see who's with me. See who's like, call me an idiot. You know what I mean? Tell me I'm risking my own life every time I go out. I'm the sort of person who likes to hug people I meet. You know what I mean? Family, friends, I like to hug them. You know? What I see is, I've got a terrified auntie, right, who I bump into now and then. And she's always got this big, like, cloth face mask on. And last time I saw her, bless her, she's getting on, she's in her 70s. She said, oh, I haven't been very well, I passed out twice, you know, and it's like, I'm saying, no, it's because of that thing on your face, man, stop wearing it all the time. Oh, you have to because of COVID. It's like, it's really? But, you know, the difference between me and my auntie there is, I don't sit and watch the news, you know. I get the general gist of it. I get my news off YouTubers. You know, I'll flick the telly on every now and then to see when the next lockdown's coming or what farcical nonsense they're coming out with. But do I believe it? No. Am I an idiot? Maybe. Am I risking my life every time I come out? Am I the luckiest man on earth? Because I've survived this long. Believe me. I don't know. I just thought I'd sort of air them thoughts. See if the video goes up because I've mentioned COVID. I was going to do what Owen Benjamin did and call it my Sharona. That's a thing in itself as well. Videos like this, if you label them wrong or say the wrong things, they're not getting out there on YouTube. They're not getting out there at all. So we'll see how this one goes.